What is up everyone, Dan here, and today I'm going to be doing my predictions video for Arrow Season 5, Episode 9. Also, of course, as we probably most of you know it, the mid-season finale of the show. And I'm going to be completely honest, I have actually really been liking Arrow this season. I didn't think originally I would. After the shit show, no offense, that was Season 4, I really didn't have the highest of expectations for season 5, but I've got to say it definitely impressed me. Much better than season 5 and season 3. I don't think it's up to the heights of season 1 or season 2, but then yet again, I'm only basing this off of the first 5 episodes, first 9 episodes, so I don't really class it as fair judgment. But in terms of comparing it to the first half of seasons 3 and 4, definitely a big improvement. My biggest issue with the last two seasons is that they've always started off okay to strong. Season three's opening 9 episodes I thought were good, and season four's I felt were average. And then afterwards it just falls apart in that, final half of the season. And I hope it doesn't happen this season. I don't think it will, considering this is actually the first season that Mark Guggenheim is not actually a showrunner, so thank God for that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing my predictions for the mid-season finale, also entitled What We Leave Behind. It, of course, is going to premiere in the US on Wednesday, and on the UK, I'm pretty sure it airs, I think, like a week or two later, but I'll be watching the US version anyway. I will definitely be doing a review for it. I may or may not do a review of the Flash mid-season finale tomorrow. It's completely dependent for me on, well, one, if I can be bothered, and two, if I'm not too busy doing college work. So the Flash one will be a maybe, but the Arrow one will most definitely be doing a video for. So this is going to be my predictions. I'm going to be going through the 3 most popular predictions for the mid-season finale, saying the possibilities for them, and whether I think they're good or not. So let's just get straight into it. So before I go anywhere else, I want to quickly, first of all, get, the plot synopsis for the episode out of the way. After Prometheus attacks Curtis, Oliver realizes that Prometheus knows all of Team Arrow's secret identities and is planning to cover them one by one. Felicity and Detective Malone discover a clue that links Prometheus to Oliver's past. So as we can see from that synopsis, this kind of rules out one of the big predictions that, in terms of the theories as to who the identity of Prometheus could be. Now, one of the highest candidates on this list was Detective Malone, who is, of course, Felicity's new boyfriend. Some people thought that he could potentially be Prometheus. I personally never thought that he could be, because it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'd just be annoyed if it was somebody related to Felicity who turns out to be a villain. Because, we already had that with her father, and we've already had enough of Arrow Season 4 trying to turn this show into Felicity and Friends featuring Arrow, so I wouldn't want that to happen. Plus, also in the promo for the episode, we see a shot where Detective Malone and Prometheus, well, Prometheus is essentially behind Detective Malone while he seems to be looking at a file. So I hope that scene completely cancels out all speculation that he could be Prometheus, because I just don't want him to be Prometheus. I'd be very disappointed if he was, because like I say, it just feels like a very underwhelming choice for me. Unless he's somehow connected to the list, but I just personally wouldn't be a big fan if they went down that route and actually made him Prometheus. So let's just have a look at the synopsis. From what we can tell, Prometheus obviously attacks Curtis. Now, interesting to note, it doesn't say his alias, it just says Curtis, so obviously, like we saw in the promo, he's going to essentially beat the crap out of Curtis in, normal daylight, when he's not dressed up as Mr. Terrific. And obviously this is going to send a statement to Oliver that he knows the identity of every single member, most likely due to the fact that, Artemis is working with him, so she probably told him that information. We also did get some information from the team. We also got some information from some of the people at Arrow, and we got confirmation of when exactly Artemis actually turned on Oliver. It was revealed that she actually turns on Oliver in episode 6 when the whole of Team Arrow learns about the list from season 1. That's when she decides to side with Prometheus. So she hasn't been working from him from the start. It's been since episode 6 that they forged that alliance. Also, I want to go over the possibility of Artemis dying, because I have seen quite a few people come up with this theory online. This is because of the fact that, as we can see in the promo, Artemis essentially betrays Oliver, or double crosses him, whatever, and holds an arrow to him. She's like, "You don't need this. The city doesn't need saving from." Well, I think she says something like the city needs saving from you, not you need to save the city. And she's holding the bow and arrow at him, and a lot of people have suggested that either A, Oliver will kill her because he realizes that he can't change it, or B, and I think this is the most likely option, Prometheus will essentially notice that Artemis wants to kill Oliver badly, and because that goes against his plan of wanting to make Oliver suffer, I think he's going to kill Artemis, and then that will, put Oliver down, because he'll feel like as if he failed her. He could have turned her around, but Prometheus just flat out kills her. So I think that's a very high option. I do think that she could die in the mid-season finale. I wouldn't be all that shocked if she did. Plus, according to some set reports, the actress who plays her hasn't been seen on set for a while, so this could also back up that theory that she does die in the mid-season finale. I wouldn't be too surprised if she did leave the show. I feel like she has easily been the most underdeveloped out of all of the, new Team Arrow characters for me. She's also the very least interesting, which is kind of funny considering the fact she was like one of the two new, members of Team Arrow who we actually saw in season 4. The other one being Curtis. Like, I just feel that Ragman, Wild Dog, and Mr. Terrific, they've just had much more character development and time spent with them. I feel like Artemis has been kind of, left out a bit. So I wouldn't be too surprised if she went on. I don't think I would miss her, but I think I would be interested to see the impact that her death would have on Oliver and the team. Now, the other one is, of course, the possibility that we might actually learn the identity of Prometheus in this episode. This is because of the fact that, obviously, like it states in the synopsis, that Felicity and Malone find a clue that links Prometheus to Oliver's past, and also considering what we know from some photos and stuff that's been confirmed by the people on the show, we also know that there will actually be flashbacks to Season 1 in this episode. And what these flashbacks will actually be are people that Oliver crosses off the list that we didn't actually see in Season 1. Because I think that's a really cool thing to do, because a lot of people probably had that question, including myself, of how did Oliver take out all the people on the list? Because surely there must have been people that he took out that we didn't see. So it's nice that we get to at least get an understanding of what happened during Season 1 for, that we didn't actually see. And I'm pretty sure that these flashbacks will definitely relate to who Prometheus is, although it definitely does open up the possibility that we could learn about who he actually is after the end of the episode. It wouldn't surprise me, considering we have had reveals of, main villains in quite a few of the Arrow mid-season finales, because of course, if you remember in Season 1, we found out that the Dark Archer was actually Malcolm Merlin in the mid-season finale, and of course in Season 2's mid-season finale, we found out that Deathstroke was behind the whole Sebastian Blood Mayor campaign, so I would not be surprised if his identity is revealed. And if anyone's going to ask me who his identity is, I'd probably say Tommy is probably the best option, although I have heard a rumour going around the past few days that it could be Walter Steele. This one kind of cropped up because of the Invasion episode, when his name got mentioned as Oliver and his father were walking down the alleyway, talking, and of course Walter's name was mentioned. It would be cool to see Walter again. I mean, we haven't seen him since Season 2, but honestly, how on earth would he be able to fit into that suit and know all that combat? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like I said, I still think Tommy is probably going to end up being Prometheus. Probably he gets resurrected by the Lazarus Pit, and then he just mentally just goes unstable and blames Oliver for Laurel's death and the Glades and everything like that. So that's probably what's going to drive him over the edge and wanting, to get revenge on Oliver. That's personally my theory for Prometheus. I'm not 100% convinced that it is Tommy, but out of all the rumours and theories that are going around, Tommy definitely seems the most plausible to me. And finally, the final one, and probably the one that I really want to happen the most, and one that I think most people will agree with me on, is that we get a tease of Laurel Lance, aka the Black Canary, coming back to the show. Now, this is based off the fact that Wendy Miracle, the showrunner for this season, actually said in an interview in October that in episode 10 of season 5, the mid-season premiere, that Laurel would be alive and well. Now, what she means by this, we don't really have a clue, although she does also state in that same interview that Flashpoint might have something to do with it. Now, the big question is will they actually show Laurel in the mid-season finale? And if you ask me, I would say yes. This is also because of the fact that Stephen Amell actually posted a picture on social media of what he claims is the last shot of the Arrow mid-season finale. Now, as you can see in this picture, Oliver is obviously quite shocked by something. So now you have to process in your head what could shock Oliver. And for me, the first thing that springs to mind is seeing Laurel alive, like just comes out of the shadows in the Arrow cave. She's alive, and he makes that expression, and then it cuts to black. I really do think they will tease her because we want something that will hype us up for the second half of the season, and I think that big OMG moment of seeing Laurel alive would definitely get us all talking and definitely win over some fans who were upset by her death in season 4, including me. Like, I do miss her as a character. She was my favorite character on the show, and I've loved Black Canary from the comics. She's probably my favorite, superhero heroine in DC Comics, maybe even of all comics, because she was just such an awesome character. So I do hope she comes back. Well, if this interview's right, she will be. And I hope that she does appear in the mid-season finale. Just as a quick, tease, it'd be just awesome to see her. And of course, and especially since that, 100th episode, that really just made me want her back so badly. And also for her to get into a relationship with Oliver like she does in the comics. I mean, what can I say? I'm a Laura shipper all the way. So that's essentially it for my predictions video for Arrow Season 5, the mid-season finale. Of course, let me know in the comment section any of the theories that you're coming up with and what you think might happen in the Arrow mid-season finale. So to sum up, I do think that Artemis will die in the mid-season finale. I think we will find out who the identity of Prometheus is, although I'm still not 100% certain who it may be, but if I were to place my bets now, it would probably be Tommy Merlin. And I do think that Laurel will show up in the mid-season 5 finale, probably in like the last 30 seconds or something like that. I'm not going to talk about how I think she'll return, since I'm going to be saving that for a future video to release while we wait for the second half of the season to air. But with that all being said, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Hope to see you again next time. And stick around on Thursday for more review for the Arrow mid-season 5 finale. See ya.